Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Conversations with the Industry. I'm Elise Levy, and I am joined today by my co-hosts, Holly Henry and Larry Elovitz of the Investing Advice Roundtable. Today, we are speaking with Steve Crouch, who is a certified personal trainer. We felt that physical training would be a relevant topic for us to discuss on our podcast, since there are similar traits such as discipline and long-term planning that are required to succeed in both investing and physical training. Furthermore, being healthy physically and mentally can play a vital role in how you manage your finances and investing. Steve, thanks so much for being here to talk with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm especially excited to have Steve here, as I've been friends with Steve since high school. I won't say exactly the number of years to save us both the embarrassment, but we grew up together in Dayton, Ohio, and have stayed friends over the years, even though we now live on separate sides of the country. Steve has always been into health and fitness, and it's my honor and privilege to have him on the podcast. Before we start a discussion with Steve, Holly, would you mind giving us a brief introduction?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So, Steve has over 16 years of experience in training clients of all ages and abilities. A certified personal trainer through the International Sports Sciences and Association, better known as ISSA, Steve also holds certifications in sports performance, injuries, and nutrition, and also studied physical therapy. As a lifelong athlete who played baseball and football, he realized he wanted to be a trainer at a young age. So while motivating his clients to reach their fitness goals, Steve is motivated by experiencing their transformation along with them. Steve believes we should all do something physical every day and enjoy life in moderation. When he is not training clients, Steve loves to hike, explore his love of all types of animals and nature, watch and play sports, and spend time with his family.
All right, Steve, besides that list, what else can you tell us about yourself?
Boy, that basically hits it right on the head. I mean, there's really not too much to me. I love to exercise, and that's basically where it's at. And I love sports and animals, and that literally, and my family, and that just consumes my day. There's not much more to me than that.
Do you own any animals?
I have 3 dogs. Absolutely. Yes, I have 3 dogs.
All right, what are their names?
I have Bella, who's a little Chihuahua, and then I have 2 twin wiener dogs that are Mirabelle and Bo.
Well, I love all those names. I love hearing people's dog names because I feel like it says a lot about a person.
I agree.
All right. So diving into some questions, what are the most common mistakes people make when first trying to get fit?
Well, I think the kind of word that we like to use now is the microwave method. I think people expect kind of changes to happen immediately, and that is very far from the exercise world. And I guess that's really anything we do in life. We have to work hard towards any goal we have, but specifically the body, it takes time to for our body to change and for us to strengthen or lose weight or whatnot. So people wanting changes to happen very fast, that's challenging.
100%. We in my office, we talk about the 10,000 hour rule. To become an expert, you have to spend 10,000 hours doing something. So just putting that in perspective, it's like it'll take a long time to get good at something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are the best ways to stay motivated when working out and getting in shape over time?
Not because I am one, but I think having a personal trainer is very important, or someone or something that can hold you accountable. Because being held accountable for something is hugely important, because if it's just something easy just to bypass, that's honestly, it's very easy for us as humans to do. So holding yourself accountable, whether you're keeping a log of your workouts or having a trainer or even a buddy system at that, have a buddy that's going to hold you accountable. I'd like to say every day, but at least like 5 times a week or so. But yeah, just having something to hold you accountable, I think, is very important in this.
Yeah, it is funny because we didn't mean to, but it does correlate a lot with working with a financial advisor.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, oh, that's our job, to keep our clients accountable.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So what are some effective workouts for people, not just, real athletes, but people at all fitness levels?
I mean, honestly, I think everybody should walk, or I'm more so walking. Running can be tough on our lower half and tough on the knees. So I think we should all get out and walk. I live in LA, so I love the mountains. So I try to get in the mountains every day. But even if we're just walking our dogs or walking around the block or doing something to get blood generated throughout the body, it's perfect. But just something as simple as if we don't want to do weights, do squats and push-ups. Do simple things like that that just make life easier. I like to say functional movements that can keep us from aging fast. And functional movements like a squat.
Yeah, but yeah, functional movements, I agree. That's a good way to go.
Yes.
What are some specific workouts that are better for muscle gain? What are some that might be better for like weight loss?
Well, if we're actually going to use weights, go lower repetitions, meaning anywhere if you want to build muscle mass, you're going to do anything between 5 and 12 times. Anything, whether that would be a bench press or a squat or even something as simple as a pull up, pulling yourself up to something. Do it just a short number of times and that actually builds mass. But if you want to build endurance, you're going to do something 15 to 20 times, something, a lot of repetitions to really build endurance in the body. So, like if you want to gain weight, and build muscle mass, you want to do exact opposite. You don't want to do anything above 12 reps because that really cuts the body down.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
What about nutrition is big part of, health and fitness. How can nutrition play a role in fitness goals?
Well, you really truly are what you eat. And as we age, that certainly changes. I got away with that for a lot of years when you're younger and you're in athletics, but that'll catch up with you. So you want to eat healthy, and that plays a huge role because it's going to, obviously, if you eat healthy, it's going to help you stay leaner. But more importantly, you need to replenish your body with everything we do every day, whether we're losing salt or electrolytes or even replenishing our muscles that we need protein to actually build the muscle. Eating is everything. You need protein in your body. We need to watch what we eat. We need to keep the fats low, but you don't want to cut the fats out of your diet because we need fats as well. Carbs are the one thing we can try to keep low, but then carbs are your energy. So you want to have basically a balanced diet. I'm a strong believer in everything in moderation. So if there's a piece of candy or a particular beverage you want to partake in, I'm okay with it. You have to have fun. You can't cut all of that out of your diet or you're literally just going to go insane unless you're getting paid for it. Totally understand that. But if you're not, enjoy life.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, I definitely don't want to cut things out completely. So
No, not at all. Have
right.
fun. Yeah.
What are some tips for avoiding injuries? I know we see that a lot of
That's
times.
tough. Stretching. I'm a big believer in yoga. I love yoga just because it taps into our mind just as much of our muscles, as much as it does our muscles. But I like it also just because we have to stretch. Stretching will prevent injuries. Yes, diet has a lot to do with injuries, but we have to stretch. That's one thing I see that we lack to do is a warm up before our exercises. Warm up, do a little bit of stretching or a light walk, or more importantly, do a lot of squats before you warm up. That gets the blood generated throughout the whole body. That'll really help injuries. But then when you're done with your workout, definitely stretch it out to keep the muscles long. Don't let them compress and stay shortened because that's when you're going to get your injuries.
Yeah, that's good to know. I didn't never heard of squats before as kind of like a stretching way too. So
Yes, because a lot of people they tend to run or walk, but more so people run before their exercises. Squats are actually the best thing to do it because it just generates blood flow from the toes all the way up to the head and just gets a lot of blood flow throughout the body.
okay, great. Yeah. I know we always hear different like trends and stuff like that. Like, what are the latest trends in fitness right now?
I'm not big on trends, so I really don't pay too much attention to trends. I believe things like that are meant to be broken. I think we should just all stay on an even path and just do things regularly and just stick to a habitual habit, just stick to your habits. But the trend I am okay with that I have seen that I really like is people working out of their homes. I think that has changed a lot. Yes, I do think COVID has really changed that. But years before that, I've trained people out of their homes, and it's just kind of the privacy you have out of your own place. You can listen to your own music. You don't have people looking at you or trying to interrupt your workouts. So I think working out from your own home is really super beneficial. Like me, for instance, I do like to go to the gym because I like the camaraderie of everybody. But then a lot of times I like to train at home because I kind of want the quietness and to listen to my own music and to kind of just be in my head with my workout. So I like the at-home workouts a lot. I like the change in that.
So I feel like you're speaking a lot to me today because I would probably be the worst client that you ever have. When you talk about habits, my habit is the candy bowl. So what are some of the challenges that you would face as a personal trainer, probably with clients like me?
Yeah, you probably hit it on the head. Like I think like having the candy bowl around. I actually had a client that said this to me years ago, and it's around this particular time of year, around Halloween. and they said that they like to give big Halloween candy bars away. And I said, oh, that's a good thing for the kids. And it's a woman, and she happened to say, no, it has to do with us, because if I have the little candy bars around, it's easy to go and grab them. But if I have a big candy bar, mentally, I don't go and eat them as much. And I liked the thought of that. But yeah, that's real. The temptations are hard. So I think, boy, trying to balance those temptations are really challenging. And I mean, I think some of the hard things with clients like that are, yeah, the temptations with people, and then not really seeing the results as fast as they might want to see, and not really owning accountability on themselves
Okay.
on that.
Yes. So there is this reel that's going around Instagram and Facebook right now. And you
Yeah.
see a woman just sitting there and it says that she's waiting to see the results from her 2 burpees and like 10
Oh gosh.
jumping jacks. And that's me. Like I want 20 seconds and I want to see the results. So yeah, that would be me also.
I believe, I was just going to say, sorry, that's where I believe in a trainer as well helps, because it's a love-hate relationship. I believe when you first get there, we're going to really love each other. But in the middle of that workout, you're not going to be too happy with me. And then at the end of it, you're going to really love me. But you have to have that balance, have to be drilled. You just can't sit there and expect results to happen. And that's anything in life, but more so the body. You have to put in the time. Have to.
And I think that that's needed because I can get into like a few miles into my workout and then I get tired and I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm checked
Absolutely.
out. So I have to have someone there to say, no.
Absolutely. That's why I take a lot of clients hiking, and that's what I tell them: hike in the mountain. Because, and they say, why a mountain? Or go out and walk around the block. And I say, why? Because if you're on a treadmill, it's so easy just to be like, I'm done. I'm going to step right off. You can't do that when you're out. You have to get back
Thought
home.
about that. That's
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who is looking to hire a personal trainer?
Find someone who clicks with you. We don't click with everybody, and everybody doesn't click with us. That's life. Not everybody's going to click. So find someone who clicks with you. There's a connection with everybody, and we'll find that with a personal trainer. And a lot of people who I might train, and it's a friend of theirs, and so they come to me. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to click, and that happens a lot. So find someone who clicks with you. I think that's really important, because then you'll have that relationship where I will go back towards a love-hate relationship. And I think that's important, because when you're going through a workout, those are tough a lot of times. And so when you get through it, you're not always loving the trainer at that point. So that's
Right.
important to actually have that love-hate relationship.
Good. So what are your thoughts around the future of fitness?
Oh my gosh, fitness is just booming nowadays. It's beautiful. It's going very far. I mean, I love where it's going, because I like to see the youth are really getting into it and wanting to stay very healthy. And I've been a health nut my whole life, so I really like to see the changes in that people want to stay healthy. And that's something I've always said. It's one thing to look good, but it's another thing to feel good. Looking good is nice, but feeling good and being healthy for our families, and be able to, as we age, being able to play with our kids and
Absolutely.
in our older ones. So that's really important, just to stay healthy. So I like seeing the trend that everybody wants to stay healthy these days. That's nice.
Now, do you see that physical trainers will be going more online? Like I'm seeing some people using physical trainers through Zoom or like on online options. Is that something that you do or anyone that you know?
And yes, I do offer online training. I do online training, and then I do at-home training, and I train out of a gym as well. I don't love the online training at the very beginning, because I'm a huge believer in form is everything. And it's really hard to see how people do their form, or more so kind of shift their weight where it should be. And it's hard for me when I'm just talking through a computer to have them tell them, put the weight in your heels, or put the weight in your toes, or shift the weight in different spots. I see the benefit from it, and I like that, but I'd have to have a client for a little bit of time to where I trust them just as much as they trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I believe in form is a lot. And it's so easy to injure ourselves in this.
Right. I'm even what little bit I coach young basketball girls, sometimes I have to move their bodies. And just, I mean, it doesn't matter if I tell them turn left, they're going to turn right. And so sometimes you literally have to physically move them to where they need to be. And I would be one of those people that I would have to learn form the hard way.
Yeah, but it's an important thing. It's a good thing, because we can do something incorrectly 20 times and it's useless. I'd rather you do something correctly 5 times and then it's perfect.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so thank you so much for the wonderful information that you have provided. But before we wrap these up, I actually have 2 random questions for you. One, you've talked about sports. I want to know who your favorite sports teams are.
Oh, gross. That's Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincinnati Reds. I'm a Cincinnati guy.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm from Arkansas, so I'm cheering on the Razorbacks right now. So
Okay.
it's hard to be a Razorback fan, but I love this time of the year.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay, and then I want to hear one random fact about yourself.
I like to eat. That's a fact. That a lot of people, they think you're in shape and you do this. I love to eat. I tell people all the time, just work out, but enjoy stuff.
Yeah.
I love to eat. I'm watching what I eat a little bit more these days, but I like to eat. So, yeah,
What's your favorite splurge when you're eating?
cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody's familiar, but I've been nicknamed Wimpy, and Wimpy was the guy in Popeye who only ate cheeseburgers, and that's me. I could literally eat them all day long for every meal, and it's quite disgusting to most people. But I don't allow myself to do that. But if I could, I would.
See, mine's chili dogs. I like cheeseburgers, but I'd have a chili dog too every meal.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, you guys are making me hungry.
Exactly.
Well, thanks again, Steve. Really appreciate it. We hope that everyone enjoyed today's podcast with Steve and found it as interesting and informative as we did. If you're ready to begin working with a financial advisor, please reach out to us via social media. Also, be sure to subscribe to our Spotify to listen to future podcast episodes and check out our YouTube page for more of our video content.